Shit's about to.
Welcome back to the Unwracked Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Barry, and I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle Wilkes, who is sitting 3 days out from hitting the stage for the first time in 4 years. Today we have a special guest, IFBB Classic Physique Pro, Mike Sommerfeld. Mike, welcome to the show, and how are you doing today, brother?
Thank you so much for having me. Amazing. Had a good leg workout today. Cardio in the books, everything, every box is checked, so I can die happy today.
What'd you do for legs today? Give people insight into like what a leg workout looks like for a really good Classic Physique Pro getting ready for the Olympia.
Well, I just changed the whole protocol from a more high volume, more burning calories and like wasting energy into something like really precise, slow, controlled, not wasting that much energy, but bringing some intense stimulus.
So
I decreased the total sets. And I'm starting with adductors, hamstrings. Today, standing leg curl, unilateral. I did hip thrusts. I did hack squat, leg press, and walking lunges.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a leg day I would do, like almost to a T actually. It sounds fun. Yeah, for sure.
No magic.
Yeah, right. There really is no magic tools. It's just hard work and discipline. And as Kyle pointed out on a previous podcast, consistency day in and day out. But we want to hit you hard right out of the gate. I'm going to put something up on the screen real quick. Okay, I'm going to play something for you. And I want your immediate response and reaction. Okay, this is last year's show. It's a mano-a-mano showdown, you and Chris. What's going through your head?
That was the moment of my life. And you guys, you have no idea. I didn't even realize that it was like 1 or 2. I had a moment backstage with Chris, and they sent us backstage, and I panicked because I thought we were missing first call out. And then he said, "Hey, congratulations." And I was like, "Why? They sent us backstage." And he said, "Yes, because we are top 3." And I was like, "What?" Then it clicked.
Well, tell us, like, going into that show, like, you knew you looked good, and you knew you looked probably your best ever in your life. Did you expect to be top 2, top 3 at the end?
I didn't expect anything. The thing is that we gained like 7 kilos of pure muscle, like 15 pounds from Olympia to Olympia. And I had no idea if they like what they see or not.
Mm-hmm. And then, so what did he say to you? Like, when you guys got backstage, you guys have been dismissed. What was he saying to you? Did he have any words? Was it like a competitive thing, or was it just like, "Hey man, congratulations, like you made it to the big show with me"?
No, Chris is super humble, super easy, nice guy. So we were backstage and I panicked a little bit. I need to tell you the story. So 2 days before at the weigh-ins, Tyler told us, every athlete, that if we're stepping out of the box, we're not getting compared. So as you're hitting first call out, that's basically goal for everyone, and you're stepping out the box, they will send you back and then you're done. And they send us back and I panicked. I was like, wait, I did not went out the box. Like, I stayed here, I promise. And then I was like super disappointed, and I thought like, holy, Neil will kick my ass so bad, but I didn't do anything wrong. And then Chris, I don't know if he saw me or something, I don't know, and he put his hand on my shoulder. He said, "Hey bro, congratulations." And I'm still in the mode like, shit, I fucked it up. But then he told me, "No bro, like, we are top 3. It's going between us 3." And I was like, holy, yeah, he's right. Like, they would never send Chris Bumstead backstage. That's amazing moment.
So then let's go to the absolute final 2-man call out, the one I just showed you. Like, did you gain more confidence from like prejudging the finals as that went on? Like, were you like, "Hey, it's me and Chris now"? Were you locked in like that?
Honestly, I don't remember pretty much what I've done and how I felt. It's difficult to explain. Every time I'm stepping on stage, every memory is gone. When I'm coming off stage, the first thing I'm doing is I'm calling my wife, and I ask her like, did I look? Was it good? Like, And she's always, hey, you was the guy on stage. You should know. And I was like, I have no idea. Just please tell me. It's like everything I'm doing is just so automatically played. It's not the first time, it's like a movie, but you're actually in the movie, and really difficult to explain. Like you're melting together with the situation.
Is it kind of like a dream that you've already had, and now you're kind of like living it, but you can't remember the dream, but you're like, I think I know what the next step is. I
Yes.
think I know where this, I think I know what you're talking. I think all bodybuilders have kind of had that when they've had success on stage, but obviously probably not to the level of being top 2 at the Olympia like you did. So, yeah, I mean, I just remember seeing that as a spectator and being like, oh my gosh, we might see an upset this year. Like Chris is Chris, he's amazing. He's on another level. And I didn't think going into that show that there would be anybody that could push him to the lengths. And coming back, we watched the video from Tyler Mannion, and I believe what he said was that Chris won 3 poses and you had won 2. And how does that make you feel to know that like you did some damage against Mr. Olympia?
Feels like a gift. So it's like you're playing soccer against, I don't know, Real Madrid or whatever's the best soccer team ever. And you are able to hit a shot, like, right? Hit the goal just once. You're going to lose because they will just fucking kill you. They rip you to pieces. But you got one goal. Like, it's like somebody's tapping your shoulders. But like, honestly, I'm happy that I didn't win the show. I said that many times. I would not have been ready. All the things post Olympia, like getting second place, I got like plus 200,000 new followers, 14 to 16,000 messages, and I answered every of them personally. So it took like 3 weeks every day for multiple hours, just thanking people for their support and stuff. And it felt so, I never felt like that before. You guys, you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
And if I would have won the show, this would be even more crazy. And I would not be able to handle it, especially like the responsibility. If you win the Olympia, it's not like you have another trophy at home. You are literally the ambassador for the sport, and that comes with some more work and some more responsibilities, right? And I had no idea what to do. This is why I asked Chris on stage as they called out the second and first place. I was like, hey, Chris, what should I do now? Like, I'm second place. It's like, what is coming now? And he's like, hey, bro, I would recommend you to take your medal because they just called out your name. We had good moments on stage, but yeah, I was not ready. But now, after winning the Arnolds, after Expos, FIBO, the Arnold Expo, I got a feeling of how it feels and what I need to do in order to be in public. I had the illusion that after I won the Arnolds, I grabbed my wife and I told her, hey, let's walk the expo. I love that. Like, bodybuilding everywhere, exciting people. We went in and it took like 3-4 minutes and I had like a crowd around me. I wasn't able to move anymore. And that's brand new. And I didn't know that. And, my goal was to walk the expo with my wife, having a great day, no cardio, just eating whatever I want, just having a good time. And then there are like 40, 50, 60 people waiting in a line to take pictures. And I love that. But at the same time, my wife stands right next to me and is like, hey, babe, do you think we can go? Like, it's already 1.5 hours. And, it's kind of difficult. I love that. I love both things, but you can't do everything at the same time.
Now, Mike, this kind of segues into our next question or segment here. And you touched on it a little bit, but obviously getting second at the Olympia, you're thankful, you're very humble, and I respect that about you and admire that. But in terms of the home country of Germany, right? The reality is, prior to your success in recent years, I would say when people hear Germany, they hear bodybuilding, they think Earth. Now, your take on after the Olympia, have you seen a shift in the home country in terms of, are you the guy now when Germany thinks of bodybuilding? Are you the top dog now?
Yes and no. Maybe you guys know that I left Germany years ago, so I don't live there anymore. I moved to Mexico, and since then we don't have a home. So since then we're traveling constantly. So I don't live there anymore. I don't support Germany by itself like that anymore because I don't live there. I'm not like, I'm the German. Germany goes to Olympia. No, I'm more like kind of an international guy. So, I mean, I'm German, yes, and I love the German support, but that's not my base anymore.
Gotcha.
My base is worldwide, and I don't care where people are coming from. As long as they love bodybuilding, I love them. End of story.
Yeah. Now, prior to getting second, I guess, and you kind of talked us through the story that I think a lot of people would never have known, so I'm really glad that you shared it in terms of when you got called off stage with Chris thinking that you weren't even first call out. Prior to going into this year, did you feel that you were a little overlooked because there was the Chris, the Urs, the Ramon, and things like that going into it? Like, what was your stance? Like, did you know deep down, like, hey, I'm as good as these guys, I deserve to have my chance to be compared to them? Or how did that kind of shape?
Before the Olympia, I had a good underdog vibe going on. So nobody really expected me to be second place, obviously. And I knew that we're going to bring a brand new package to stage because we gained a lot of weight and my physique looked totally different. And this was basically the tryout phase. We tried to work on all the weak points and all that stuff, like to create a 360 good looking body from every angle. But we haven't pushed my strength yet. So we wanted to see how I'm looking a little bit heavier compared to the other people. And then we got second place by, let's see how we look. And from there, Neil was pretty confident that if we work hard enough, we could get a good placing at the Arnolds. And I thought that too. And since then, after the Arnolds especially, we got good feedback from Tyler, from Steve, from other judges. And now we're working on my strength. So weak points are already good improved. Let's say my back was my biggest weak point and my back came up a lot. But now we're working on different things. It's going to be a secret, but I've never worked on my strengths. So as you can imagine, my frame, my X frame is quite good because I have a small waist and like wide shoulders and stuff. There are ways to get your waist even smaller and the shoulders even wider and the back wider and all that stuff. Like, we want to create something really dramatic for this year.
Okay. I can't wait, personally. Mike, you seem like a thinking man's bodybuilder. Like, you seem very introspective. Like, you really... You don't have an ego, you don't have an attitude. You were just as surprised as everyone else, it seems like, when you got second place or when you were in that call out. It wasn't like you came in there charging like a bull. I want to know, like, do you have tools and habits that you use to stay mentally locked in? Are you a journaler? Do you have certain things that you do that maybe other bodybuilders don't do that can help other bodybuilders get into a good headspace during a prep?
Honestly, I don't know if I should talk about it. It's a really deep thing to talk about, and I would say 99% of the people won't understand, and they will say that I'm a strange, super weird guy because I'm doing these things. But I can promise you that it helps a lot. What I do every day is, when I'm happy, I'm asking myself, why I'm happy? What is the reason exactly? Like, what is the thing behind whatever I'm doing, what makes me happy? What is the thing behind I'm doing what makes me sad? What makes me disappointed? What makes me depressive? What makes me feel anxious? And I have these conversations with my wife every day, literally. And she knows me pretty well. I know her pretty well. We spend every day, every hour, every second, everything we're doing together. We eat together, we cook together, we prep food together, we train together, we work together, we do everything together, for real. So every time I'm like upset, she's like, hey babe, what's up? And I was like, I don't know, let me think about it. And then I'm like, okay, I had an amazing day, sun was shining, and then click. Something happened what pisses me off. But the decision is actually on me. If I stay in there being like upset, depressed, and pissed off. So I can decide by myself how I treat the information I got. Let's say, for example, my dog just died yesterday. Obviously, many people will be super sad. I would be super happy. Why? Because it's my decision. I don't need to be sad. I could be happy just by switching some things around. For example, my grandpa, he was one of the most influential people in my life, and he died. But I'm not sad at all. I'm super happy because he lived a great life. He raised kids, four of these kids have 2 kids each. He created a badass fucking family. He took care of everyone. He built his own house. He was working. He was like a he was like a worker, like a true German, guy, right?
Yeah.
I appreciate it so much. And he was the guy who told me, Mike, there's just one thing to do to be successful, and that's work. Always, it's work. And every time on stage, and you can see that on the video, every time the ceremony begins, I'm talking to my grandma and my grandpa, every time. And I say thank you for all the things they told me to do. For example, never stop working. Even if it's a small step, it's a step. Just be dedicated, be hard, don't give up. Yes, I am sad sometimes because I miss them, but at the same time, I'm so happy that I had them in my life, and I'm able to turn these things around, even if some really bad things happen. Even like the worst things, these are the most important, to be the alchemist and turn shit into gold.
I like that. That's what I meant. I could just tell you're very introspective, and you have the ability to really internally think, and it sounds like your support system with your wife kind of mirrors back to you, what's going on in your life, how to maybe switch how you view things and how you look at them so that you do have positive experiences. Let me ask you about anything negative that you might have had. Did you have any like really bad days during prep? Have you ever broken down during a prep and just said, hey, I don't want to do this anymore?
Okay, that's really, really private. I can tell you 2 really private emotional stories. The first one, it's really quick. I closely died 6 years ago. I had organ failure because I have a genetic disorder, and the doctor told me, hey, congratulations, you just became pro, but that's your last show. If you continue doing bodybuilding, you will die, like in 6 months. I was like, okay, let's see who's left, the devil or me. Like straight away, I don't give a shit. The devil and me were good friends for many years. And then luckily Neil coached me, and he's super big in health and all that stuff. So since then we're just getting better and better. The second one is actually pretty emotional, to be honest. My dad, he tried to kill himself many, many times. And they locked him into a facility for, mental illnesses. And yes, I had a huge breakdown, 2014, I guess. And I called him. I haven't seen him for years. And I just called him and said, Dad, fuck, I'm done. Like, sorry, Dad, but I won't make it this year. Like, I'm done. He was like, what's the problem? I said, hey, like, I'm too tired. I can't move. I don't want to speak. Like, I feel so lethargic. Like, I felt really bad. And then he said, you know what, Mike? Let's meet in 10 minutes at the gym. And he did not leave his house for weeks. He was so depressive, incredible. He tried to kill himself that bad. But the moment I called him, he was like, you know what? Let's rock. I will be with you. Maybe I don't train, but I'm going to be there with you. He came. He was at the gym. And then I realized, okay, there's a new button to press. And I called him right the next day. I said, hey, Dad, it was super cool yesterday. Today I need to train legs. Could you help me? He was like, for real, of course. I'm there. Give me 20 minutes. And I continue doing that. And since then, he's back at the gym. And even better, so we prepped together basically 2014, and after many many years, 2020, I called him and I said, hey Dad, I don't have a coach, and I need someone to tan me and to shave my ass and all that stuff, right? And he said, okay, no problem, I will come with you. And he did not leave the country for decades, so he can't be around many people and close rooms. And he stepped with me in a plane full of people, closed. That's a huge step. It was Spain, like a 3-hour flight, nothing big, but first step. Since then, he joins me for every Olympia.
That's awesome.
He comes to Vegas 2 weeks before. We train together, we prep together, we cry together, we push each other. He's still doing my tan. Since today, I never had professional tan backstage, never.
Your dad
That's
does
the tradition. My dad does it. And if he's not doing it, I do it by myself. Nobody will do the tan except my dad.
That's wild. Well, it sounds like you and your dad kind of saved each other. Like your dad kind of helped you save yourself through prep, and you kind of helped save your dad overcome some of his mental illness issues and getting back into the public and maybe having a purpose. And I did want to ask, because your father was a bodybuilder for a number of years, and I think you mentioned that he had competed with like the likes of Dennis James. I mean, that's.
I have a picture on my phone, bro, with Dennis had his afro back then, like 30 years ago. So funny, so funny.
That's amazing. Does your dad like help you out with training? Has he helped you out with, decision making when it comes to obviously, he probably hasn't had the level of success you're having over the last couple of years, but he knows what it's like to be a bodybuilder and try to manage it all. Is he good for that?
Oh, funny. So my dad is he's like true old school. He's so old school that he did not use protein shakes back then because they were not available. He needed to drive to a different country, to France, to go to a pharmacy to buy these ampules filled with amino acids.
Wow.
So you need to break them open and drink them. Super ugly stuff. So he's like from back in the days. My first bodybuilding prep, I was 16. I competed the first time when I was 16. And I asked my dad, like, hey, Dad, how do I prep for a show? And he's like, yeah, I cooked chicken. So he boiled it. And I ate yogurt, like Greek yogurt. And I said, that's it? That's simple. I can do that. And he said, yep. So I was eating like boiled chicken and yogurt for like 9 weeks, all day, every day. Just these two different food sources.
No beef.
No carbs, nothing, no fat,
oatmeal.
no vegetables, nothing, zero. Just these two things. And after like 8 or 9 weeks, I was almost stage ready. I won the show, German overall, as a 16-year-old boy. I had no idea what to do. I fainted on stage because I did not practice posing at all. And we had these super hot light bombs, the halogen things. Mm-hmm. So I was posing and I was holding my breath each and every pose, like, and like in round number 2, I was like this, because I wasn't able to see anymore and I can't hear anything. And then the next thing I remember, that's actually funny, I woke up backstage because they pulled me from stage, right? Luckily, I was oiled, so I was slipping easily. So I woke up backstage and I was like, oh, wow, that's how a bodybuilding show looks like from backstage? Cool. Like, oh, wow, they're the athletes. And then I was like, wait, I know them. I've seen them before. How can I know them? And then I was like, oh, shit. I woke up, like I'm standing up, running back on stage, finished the last 2-3 poses, and I won the show. Would never, ever happen today. Straight disqualified, but back then, amazing videos.
That is a good story.
No, that's awesome, Mike. So you mentioned when you were 16, I guess maybe that could be the reason why today I feel that you are one of the more polished posers. And in classic bodybuilding, when a lot of us hear classic bodybuilding, we think of people that spend time potentially posing, or at least are able to present themselves in a beautiful way. And I think you do a great job with that. So one question I have for you that I'm sure a lot of people would be curious about is, how much time since you're 16 do you actually spend, especially leading into this prep, for example? Take me through that.
In total, in hours?
Yeah, like, is it something you do every day? Do you have just one per week?
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm posing now every day.
How long?
I do 2 rounds in the morning usually, and 2-3 rounds post-workout. But when we are closer to the show, I'm posing like 3 times every day, multiple rounds. That's just to practice. We're not talking about practicing the posing itself. It's just for the cardiovascular endurance in posing, to not be out of breath and sweating a lot. But the posing practice and create new poses to see if they match your physique, to see how it flows, the transitions from one to another pose. Some poses are actually pretty damn cool, but it's actually hard to get into it, and that makes it look like really bad. You know what I'm saying?
A little awkward.
Yeah, it's not flowy. One pose needs to flow into another one, but sometimes does not happen. So if I see a pose on Instagram, YouTube, and I mean, I love bodybuilding, I follow different bodybuilders, and sometimes they do like crazy ass routines, such as, let's say, Ruff. Ruff has a great flow. He has a really special style of posing. Rachel Daniels, for example, as well. And I see something like, that looks nice. Let's try. Then I'm trying it and I was like, okay, that looks shitty. We should not do that. Sometimes my wife comes around, she's like, hey, babe, twist your hips a little bit and do this, do that. For the side twisted Arnold pose, she said, yeah, arch your back a little bit more. I did it, and then, wow, that's it, bang. But it takes maybe some days, some weeks, some months. Sometimes you never hit the pose right. Sometimes there are poses that they just don't fit you.
Right. No, awesome. Now, take me through, I guess, in preparing for the Olympia, the past Arnold, things like that. Do you have like a ritual before going on stage to do your routine? Is there like a mindset? Because it seems like you're big on that, and I think that's super fucking important, to say the least, okay, in terms of being successful. But take me through that, share that.
Okay, if you laugh, you need to pay dinner, okay, post-Olympia.
You got it.
Fair enough.
Okay, the day before the Olympia, we have a special night. So there's nothing to do, no training, like it's carving up, so you're sitting around and basically doing nothing and waiting to get on stage. And we do Disney movies. That's the Disney day. We started with Lion King, Tarzan, Hercules, The Beauty and the Beast. And I love that. I can sing every fucking song you can imagine. I grew up with Disney. I'm a Disney hooligan, believe me.
Do you want to do one for us right now?
Which one?
I'm just messing with you. Doesn't Nick like to do Pixar and those types of movies?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike, you and Nick would jive, to say the least. That's all. He's huge on Disney.
Walker.
Yeah, Nick Walker. So before
For real, I need to send him a message. We're gonna hang fucking out together before the Olympia.
you can get a big screen, rent out a movie theater, maybe. He loves his movies
Definitely.
for sure. So that's exactly what he does. So definitely. I'll still buy you dinner, but I'm not going to laugh because I participated in the same ritual
Part of it.
last year.
Really?
Yeah.
My wife, she's always making fun of me. Like, I'm sitting there, then first I'm crying when Lion King is on, and then Hercules, and I'm laughing, and I have such a good time. And I'm singing the songs, and she's all, like, I have tattoos on my hands. I'm like a bearded, big guy, and then I'm sitting there crying, watching Lion King. Funny.
Yeah, I keep going back to like you're a very introspective and in touch with your emotions kind of guy, and I really appreciate that. And it kind of leads me to I want to do one more thing about posing. Is it true that you practice a lot of your posing with your eyes closed until you look in the mirror? But when you're putting your routine together, are your eyes closed so you could really feel the muscles and
Always.
Okay,
I can explain you exactly how I do it. So, my dad, he's a musician. He produces music. Maybe you guys know Rammstein from Germany?
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked with them.
Oh, wow.
And he created many, many songs for Viva and MTV back in the days, like Hijo de la Luna. Dum, dum. The song is for my dad, actually.
Okay.
And so I have a good sense for music. And every time I'm hearing something and I get like goosebumps, like super strong, it hurts almost. It's like, okay, wait. There's something behind. Then I'm listening to the song like 2, 3, 4 times, and I can see myself posing. Obviously, not the right poses, not on the second, on the rhythm and stuff. But I can see how it flows how it looks. I hear the music. I can see myself posing with the music. That's the moment where I'm closing my eyes. And when I have a good flow, I'm writing it down. I practice it in front of the mirror to see how it's looking, if it's flows, and then I'm taking videos and stuff. And from there, I do the small adjustments. The rhythm, every clap needs to hit a pose. And from clap to clap, there's a transition. And what kind of pose? Is it like a slow tempo song, or is it like really like exciting and pushing? And it depends on how fast the song is. You need to pose differently.
Have you already figured out what song you're going to pose to for the Olympia this year?
I got 3 in mind, but it's not like bang, that's it. The one for the
grabbed you yet.
the one for the Olympia was actually one of my favorite songs. I still get like, I can't talk when I hear it because I'm like, the emotional whatever that is in your throat. The Arnold one was actually really cool, not as good as the Olympia one, but I love classic orchestral, like high quality type of music. I'm not like the cheap German rap pop culture thing where it's like about prostitutes and drugs and these things. I really like high quality music, orchestra, 300 different instruments at the same time and different angles and a little bit here and there. And that's where the magic happens.
Who's your favorite like orchestra composers? Like, do you like Hans Zimmer? Or do you like
Hans Zimmer, definitely Hans Zimmer or Steve Jablonski.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those guys. I love the Two Steps from Hell. I don't know if you're familiar with those guys.
That's actually one of the songs I picked for this year is from Two Steps from Hell.
There's like 18 you could pick from. And then I don't know, because it sounds like you like the cartoons. Like if you ever go on YouTube and you watch the visuals that they put to like either video games or to like battle scenes and stuff, that like I can sit there. That's my entertainment. That's what I do when I'm not working. Is I sit around and when I'm eating, I watch videos like that because it just puts you in a good mood and you're like ready for the next phase of the day.
Really motivating.
Yes, big time, big time. So let's switch topics a little bit now because, you mentioned earlier in the show that you didn't feel like you were ready to win the Olympia last year, and you're actually kind of happy you didn't because it was a big step into like into the deep waters. Do you feel like you're getting that way now? Do you feel like you're ready to be Mr. Olympia, like mentally prepared? Yeah, tell us.
Yeah. I understood that you don't need to be someone, you just need to be you in a way that you still inspire people and be a positive influence for them. That doesn't mean that I have to play a different person on social media. I have to be me, but purely me. Here's the deal. If you're not the person people look up to, you won't become the person people look up to. It's based on the values you share. I like hard work. I like to be stupidly straight honest. I'm not going to be your cheerleader. I will find really clear words, even if you don't like to hear them. Really honest. Sometimes I'm an uncomfortable person because life is fucked up sometimes. And I'm the guy, if life knocks on my door, I will fucking open it, even when it hurts. But if people appreciate that and people see the values behind and they can identify with it, I'm more than happy. And after the Arnolds, after I won the show actually, I said on stage that today we proved that my grandpa was right. My grandpa told me work is necessary. We put in the work and we won the title. So that's the promise he gave me. And now I know that he was right. And I got so many good feedback on that because people truly believe in hard work still. And that's a good thing because bodybuilding is hard work. It's not about the special occasions, the special workouts, the great cardio sessions. It's about the basics turned into perfection on a daily basis. And if people see that and they feel the same vibe, let's say like that, that's all I need.
I like it.
I mean, Chris. Chris is not an extroverted person, but the way how he is the thing. He's not like a typical Hollywood Instagram influencer. He's basically the opposite. He hates big crowds and, he's not like the guy in the middle all the time. and everybody loves him for that. I'm not like that. I'm a little bit different. I'm more, let's say, just to keep it short, I'm more kind of a badass, fucked up guy. Chris is super humble. Everybody wants to be his friend. The grandma wants to be his friend. I'm like, maybe we should switch, the streets, kind of guy.
No, I'd agree with that. Now, Mike, let me ask you this. What is your deepest fear when it comes to life?
That's deep, bro. Honestly, it's just one fear. And I'm so, so happy that I carry it with me all my life. I can't get rid of it. And I gave it a name, actually. The name is Iblis. Iblis is the voice in your head telling you, Mike, it's not enough. If you don't make it happen right now, you will get big ass problems. You will be homeless, no money, no food, nobody likes you anymore. Like, Iblis tells me really bad things every day, every second. He's sitting right next to me all the time. But at the same time, Iblis is the reason why I never stop working hard. Even if I had a great leg day today and I was exhausted, I still did additionally 30 minutes on a treadmill. After 30 minutes of treadmill, I walked to a supplement store 30 minutes. After that, I walked back home 30 minutes. Hills up, hills down, through the fucking jungle here in Spain. And Iblis told me, Mike, it's not enough, not enough, not enough. And this is where Neil comes into play. Neil is the counterpart. He's telling me, hey, Mike, stay at home. Don't move your ass. So Iblis and Neil are basically my directors. And the biggest fear, what Iblis is telling me every day, is that I won't be able to care for my future family. If I don't make it happen now, chance is lost. And that's literally since I was, the first time I remember was like when I was 4 years old. 4 years in kindergarten back then. So if I had a sprint against one of my kindergarten friends, and I was like, okay, if I don't win it, bad. I'm the worst child. I'm the slowest. Nobody will, nobody cares who I am. I gave myself pressure, and still until today, some people call it ego, and it's kind of an ego, really strong one, but I enjoy that Iblis is by my side all the time. I just need to control it sometimes. Iblis has different things to say, but sometimes it's like, hey bro, you know what? It's okay. Be happy, go back to sleep. Talk to each other tomorrow. That's a hard part.
It sounds like this Iblis is almost like a mirror to yourself of, if you're even second guessing, am I working hard enough? He's the one that's saying, no, you're not. Like,
exactly.
Do it again, do it harder, do it better, do it faster. But then on the other hand, you're smart enough to have Neil to kind of bring you in so that you don't overwork, so you don't drive your body into the ground, so you don't show up not looking the way you're not supposed to look. And
Shani is with me all the time. So if she, for example, in Mexico before the Arnolds, I did 2 cardio sessions, intense cardio sessions every day, 3 rounds of posing, 2 workouts every day, plus 25,000 steps outside.
That's a lot.
And Shani told me, she saw me post-workout, I was just laying on the floor in the gym, sleeping for 2 hours straight. I was really bad. She told me, Mike, you can do this for another few days, but you should stop. Mm-hmm. If you don't stop, you won't make it.
I think it also, I want to capitalize or point out that I think a lot of times people think that good pros have it easy, that they're just getting in on their genetics. And right now we're hearing from a guy who could be heir apparent in the hottest division in the sport right now saying, hey, I'm doing up to 4 workouts per day between my cardio sessions, my 25,000 steps. But I just want to reiterate that, like, there's a lot of you guys that still have to do all the little things and do all the little things correctly to the max. And that's appreciated for me, especially as a coach, and I'm sure Kyle too, because we try to impart on our clients that it's about the work and it's about the discipline and it's about the consistency. And hearing you talk about it firsthand, I think it's going to make a lot of people say, hey, I am doing the right things. My coach is directing me the right way. So I appreciate that. But on that note, I want to take it a little bit lighter because we've been getting into some deep stuff. I want to back it out just a little bit and talk a little bit about like some training, diet stuff real quick. What's something that you do with your training that you don't think anyone else does?
Oh, I'm a hobby nerd. So next to my coaching, next to my bodybuilding stuff, I like to sit down, read studies, meta-analyze, and different like videos of like professors and, for example, Mike Hotel, all these guys. I listen to them, and then everything what makes sense, I'm trying it out. So 11 years ago, I tried Patrick Tuor's SST, and I studied it, each and every part of his protocol. I understood it. Then I worked with Dennis James. I studied the MTUT. I studied the Y3T, FST7, all the different techniques, in order to understand what it really does. And the fun thing is, everything does the same. It comes down to the last few really intense reps, and these are the reps making the stimulus. And everything before is basically chunk volume / wasting energy to get into the zone where it's really important. Right. So, for example, you do drop sets. Heavy weights until you reach the point where you get super like weak. Then you drop the weight and you finish the job. Waste of energy from the moment you're dropping the weight, bang, effective reps. Same for everything. And then from there, I figured out that in every part of prep, for example, in the beginning, I trained, I would say, more high volume, 4 sets, each exercise, 3 exercises, 2 times a week. So I had a lot of calories to burn, perfectly fine. I was able to recover. I slept in between the workouts. I trained twice a day. And then now we're switching it because I have like 100 grams of carbs left. There's nothing much to burn, like not much energy. So I reduced the volume, but I try to keep my intensity as high as possible. So I'm focusing way more on effective reps, and I'm trying to decrease the junk volume. So it's 1 warm-up set in 3 sequences, for example, low, like lightweight for 15, 20, straight away increasing the weight, 10 to 15, straight away increasing the weight to 5, which is almost working set weight. So muscles are fired up, my joints feel great, neurologic adaptation has taken place from the higher weights. Then I can jump in right into the first working set. And after that one, stage number 3 is basically 4 weeks before the Olympia, and I'm going to do a lot of compound moves such as squats, barbell rows, deadlifts, just in order to waste more energy, because you won't build any muscle the last few days. It's about just burning calories and get peeled. We're dropping the calories, we're increasing the calorie output, and then finishing the job.
So big thing I just picked up on that is when you get to that final phase, you're kind of doing the opposite of what a lot of guys do, and you're adding compound exercises back in, which, as we know, it takes more energy just to load up a dumbbell, a barbell for squats or deadlifts. You know, just that energy alone. The last thing a bodybuilder wants to do at 3 weeks out is carry 45-pound plates over and put them onto a deadlift bar and try to have.
Do you think I want to do that?
That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is a lot of bodybuilders, they're like, I'll go do that row machine over there. I'll go do the pull down. I'll do the leg extension. I'll do the easy leg press. Versus you're saying, no. I'm going to do the harder things because I want to burn those calories so I can do less cardio and my physique has a tougher look. Is that kind of what you're telling me?
No, because we're increasing cardio. But
you're still increasing cardio too.
My grandpa would tell me, what the fuck, you little pussy? Now you're doing the rowing machine? No, my friend, you're going to fucking take these plates and do rows. Barbell rows.
That's wild. Well, let me ask you this, because it sounds like you really think about your training too. What's like the dumbest trend in fitness you see right now, like in the gyms or on Instagram?
Fucking broccoli, 14-year-old, handcuff, 13 different belts and whatever. I was speechless. I trained last week actually, and there was a guy. He was like 14 years old. He had like maximum 38 pounds. And then he did like, I think it was a back exercise. He put a handcuff just on his biceps.
Oh, I seen that. I seen it.
And he did that and was like, bro, there's not even a muscle to contract. I don't want to be rude, don't get me wrong, but bro, just take some dumbbells and just move them. You won't, like, he can grow walking on his hands to the gym. He's a beginner. And then he starts with these super isolated, no-brainer, whatever kind of exercise. Horrible. I think that it came from the science-based lifter thing. It makes sense on paper because, yes, you don't have any biceps activation. There's nothing. It's just back, correct, but there's no load. There's no range of motion. There's nothing left. That's not how you stimulate a muscle. That's horrible. I hate that.
I'm with you.
Now, another question for you, Mike. Are you, obviously, training-wise, I love what I'm hearing in terms of the intensity because I am from that, I don't want to call it old school. I want to call it current school. It's just sometimes it only accepts so many applicants, I'll call it, okay? With the hard work and intensity, are you someone who's constantly tracking your weights, logging, so you know last week I did barbell curl? Where are you at with that?
Bro, I told you I'm a hobby nerd, so I'm writing down every day my digestion, what time I go to the toilet, how it looked, how much I drink, steps, sleep stages, deep sleep, REM sleep, light sleep, the food I'm eating, digestion, how it feels when I'm eating meal number 1 or meal number 3, how it affects my training. Do I feel lethargic? Do I have any pain? Inflammation that comes up. Sometimes you can feel it in your joints, in your body, if you don't feel like something is wrong. Might be inflammation, could be something else, maybe bad sleep, bad recovery, whatever. But I'm writing everything down so I can see, okay, 4 weeks ago I did this and my weight dropped that. So calorie output, 4,000 calories. And I ate 3,000. Or weight drop for 2 pounds. Hey, congratulations. So I get all these informations. Sometimes they are not really useful, but most of the time they are. And that's when it's really important. So I can give Neil such a detailed feedback, even my mood swings. If you feel fucked up, like you're kind of depressed, upset, aggressive, kind of, that could tell you that your recovery is fucked. Because if you're sleeping right and you're relaxed, you're not like that. So if you're like really nervous and like super synthetic, like synthetic state all the time, like it's not a good place. So all these things I'm able to tell Neil and we can do adjustments from there. So I'm really, I'm German, guys.
Yeah.
Engineering. Reverse engineer it, right?
You mentioned, not trying to plug any products here, okay? But you mentioned tracking the deep sleep, REM, things like that. What do you advocate? What do you like to use? I'm sure you've tried different things. If I hear the nerd in you, you probably tried a couple different things. What do you like the most?
You mean devices or?
Yeah.
I have my watch right here.
Okay.
Actually 2. And I have a sleeping mask, a CPAP. And the CPAP tells me how my breathing, kind of like how my breathing style is, how deep I'm breathing, if I have any, I don't know the English word, if I stop breathing. My watch can tell me approximately different sleep stages. So just to say it really clear here, a watch is never really accurate. But after weeks, you get like a good average. Right. If you're just sleeping for 30 minutes in deep sleep or 2.5 hours.
You look at the trend.
Exactly. And
yeah.
So if I can see, okay, my sleep gets worse and worse and worse and worse, well, it's going to happen. We're in prep. Yeah. But I can see from where it starts to drop and be worse. And then I can see, okay, what happened? I increased my steps. I increased the training volume. I decreased the food. Okay, stress levels might go up. Cortisol is still high. What do I need to do to decrease cortisol? go into wind down mode? How can I recover better? This is bodybuilding. It's not like, hey, we're eating chicken, bench press, and broccoli. There's so much. The magic is in the detail.
Right.
With you tracking all these great variables, is it hard for you when you see some patterns, let's say, and you are feeling like, hey, I'm more inflamed, maybe I'm not dropping weight like I want to? Is it hard for you to pull back and say, you know what, that extra volume I added last week, I need to pull that back out? Is that a battle you have in your head?
All the time. And I had a huge fight with myself changing my training protocol. But at the same time, Iblis tells me, hey, you bitch, nah, don't reduce your volume, don't be weak. But me as Mike, as the professional bodybuilder, I know what makes sense. If I overtrain myself, I'm not able to recover. Like 14 weeks out, that's not even smart.
Yeah.
So what I thought was, I tried to make it more logic to myself. So I started progressing. Week number 1 in prep. Week number 2, I almost doubled the reps. And I progressed. And then after like 5-6 weeks, I plateaued a little bit. And I can have a hard time focusing on numbers and like being really aggressive, and like it gives you so much pressure. At the same time, the risk of injury goes through the roof because you're focusing on numbers, not on feeling. Then I thought, okay, that's not even worth it. So we're going to change the whole protocol, and we start progressing from a different point, in a different style. Slower, high in control. Obviously, you're going to move less weight, but less weight will hit your muscle even harder if you do it right. So I'm not doing leg press with 500 kilos. I'm doing leg press with like 300. And my ass is fucking exploding. So that tells me that I'm doing something right. And we're going to progress for the next 4 weeks, and then we change it again for the Olympia time, where we change the exercises again, more compound movements. Obviously, we're going to move less weight because we're so depleted, right?
Yeah.
And it's so exhausting, but it doesn't make any difference between we changed the protocol.
That makes sense. Let's get a little bit on your life outside of the stage, you know, a little bit away from bodybuilding. I mean, I know she's such a big part of your life in terms of bodybuilding, but you and your wife seem to have like a partnership, both, you know, on and off, you know, we'll say in and out of the gym or in and out of the stage. You know, how much of your success do you credit to her influence, her help, and everything?
Everything and nothing at the same time. It's hard to say. Since Shani's in my life, I changed completely. My person itself, my character, how I see myself, how people see me. She's such a structured, introverted, beautiful, beautiful person. And I'm the extroverted clown. So I'm walking in front and I'm talking to a million people. I'm doing a million different things and blah, 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 blah. And everything was important. She grabs and she schedules it and puts it in the calendar and all that stuff. We are a great team, and I'm so happy that she's not competing anymore. She competed years ago and she won shows, and she wasn't satisfied. If I get a trophy, I'm satisfied. She got the trophy. She was like, "Yeah, now what? Like that's like a $9 plastic whatever. That's like no, that's not for me." Thank God. But she's such a supporting person. She knows me. She knows that I'm like an old school traditional man. If there's something to carry, heavy bags, I will do it even the day before the show. I don't care. She's not even asking me. She knows I will do it. But at the same time, if I'm super exhausted and I'm laying down on the couch, she's like, "Hey babe, what about your next meal? I can heat it up for you. Don't worry. Just lay down, chill." You know, that's all I need. At the same time, I'm quite sure that, I mean, I don't know, but I competed before I met her. And I knew that I know I can get it done by myself. But with her, everything bad in my life, I can share. Everything what's good, I can share. It's difficult to explain. You guys never saw me with Shani. And we are one person. But at the same time, we are married. We are such like, we flow into each other like perfectly. That's the very first time in my life I have something unconditionally. Whatever happens, literally, Shani will not go away. She told me straight into my face, if you want to play soccer tomorrow, I will hype you up for your soccer match. She stopped competing and now she's tattooing. I don't care. I bought the tattoo kit that she can practice. She's doing high rocks now. I don't care. I'm taking the photos. I support her. It doesn't matter what she's doing as long as she's with me. And I can be a bodybuilder. I can be a construction worker. I can go back to IKEA and work there. She doesn't care. It's such a beautiful feeling.
It sounds like you might have found your soulmate, Mike. I think a lot of people
100%.
struggle to do that. So to hear that is it's bittersweet. I love that. In terms of if you had to walk away from bodybuilding tomorrow, what's next?
Everything I love to do. This is the story of my life. This is actually one of the biggest reasons I left Germany. Germany is big in laws and rules, but I don't like rules. If they are not logic to me, I just don't follow them.
I get that.
So, yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's do something a little easier. I just want to turn this. We'll call it the rapid fire hot take section. Okay. These don't need to be long, deep-winded answers. I just want the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. Do weight caps in classic make the class better or worse?
That it came up?
Just the caps in general. Like in my opinion, let me just give you mine real quick, and then you can respond. Like to me, classic is a look. It doesn't matter what someone's height or weight is. It's like, you know the difference between a big Rami and a Mike Sommerfeld when you see it on stage. Get what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, and what always hurt me in particular when I try to do classic is having to go from a really good look at like 252, 253 down to 240 because of the height class, right? And I just want your opinion. Do you think the caps make sense, or do you think, nah, show up with your classic physique no matter what you weigh and let's do it on stage?
Yes and no. If we don't have a weight cap, we will have athletes just overpowering the classic, coming into the show with like super, super, super muscular and bulky. And that's not classic. Classic has a high level of aesthetic. But at the same time, I mean, you will see me on stage and I will be the most muscular athlete, definitely. That doesn't mean that I'm not classic. I'm just a classic with the extra edge. If there's no weight limit, they can just do whatever. They can compete in 300 pounds. Then it's on the judges to decide who is most classic. And this is where it gets controversial, because you don't have any numbers to focus on. You don't have any heights, no weights, no nothing. It's really subjective. So someone can show up and is clearly like he's killing everyone on stage because he's so muscular, shredded, super like crazy in condition. And then they will disqualify him because he's too big, just because they say so. Now with the weight cap, and if you're in the weight cap, nobody can say anything. There's not too big. No, you fit into the category and you're good to go. And then it's the look.
Okay. Now, speaking of no weight caps, who wins the Open Olympia this year?
Ooh. As I said, I love the aesthetic in bodybuilding, and I love the fact that Classic actually brought a little bit aesthetic back to the Open. You can see that especially Samson, Derek, Andrew, these guys. I wish that I like Samson a lot. I like Derek a lot because I know him personally really well. I like Hadi. I don't know him personally, but he's a really humble, really nice guy. Nick, He's not the look I'm looking for, but Nick is such a good ambassador for the sport. He is a guy people look up to because he's so special, and I love that. I think Nick and me, we have kind of the same kind of personality when it comes to, okay, this is my way, I will walk, you can share, or you can fucking go out of my way. I think that's Nick, and that's how I am. So you can walk the walk with me, or you can just step aside and leave me alone.
Which current pro would you say is most underrated in classic physique?
Classic?
Yeah, I mean, because like, let's look at it this way. I think you were underrated for a couple of years in classic, and maybe weren't getting the looks necessarily on stage up until maybe the last 2 years. Who's the next Mike that in your eyes that's competing on the pro circuit?
I have a name in mind, and I talked about him a lot, but I never mentioned his name, and I won't. I don't want to hype him up. I don't want him to get a big head, because he has the potential to win the Olympia next year, definitely. And he's not even in the top 10. Is he in the top 10? He was maybe in the top 10 or maybe not. Something there.
Okay.
Between 8 and 15 or something.
Okay.
And I saw him competing, and you guys saw him competing, I'm quite sure. And he will kick everybody's ass in like 1 or 2 years, definitely.
Okay.
Okay. Biggest waste of time with most training splits?
Never. Because maybe it wasn't a good one, but I learned that it's a bad one. You can learn that something is really good, or you can learn that something is really bad, and this is how you can decide, okay, this is the direction I want to go, and that's not. But I would say the worst thing I've done was working out 6 hours straight every day, 7 days a week.
Iblis is working on you, huh?
I was like 16 years old. So after school, I went straight into the gym. I worked out full body for 3 hours, down to the sauna, having a protein shake, up again, full body again, back home at night, sleep, back to school. That's all I did.
So you were just breaking muscle down. There was no real. You were just breaking down constantly.
Yes.
Over
Every
and over
day,
again.
full body,
That's
with no
wild.
structure, just heavy weights all the time. Super high volume, junk volume, no effective reps. It's worst of the worst.
But sometimes, you got to do something that extreme to find out it's just stupid and doesn't work. So now
That's
you
what
know,
I'm saying.
doing
Exactly.
that
I
amount of volume,
definitely know.
doing the training the body, the full body every day. That there's a reason why we break our body parts up into different splits. Now, all right, classic physique, is it getting too pretty? Do you agree or disagree?
Too pretty?
Yeah.
In terms of, what do you mean?
In terms of, are we getting too wacky with like the shoulder to waist ratios? Is the posing getting a little bit too extra? This isn't my question, by the way. This is a question because I love where the division is right now personally, but I want to know your take.
I don't think so. I like the super spectacular posing routines they do. It's not about most muscular, lat spread, most muscular, double bicep and go. It has some flow and, a story to tell. I love that. Too pretty. I see people using makeup on stage and it's like, bro, maybe you feel pretty now, but it's not really necessary.
Yeah, no one's looking at your face.
No.
Would you ever consider doing open? Let's just say after your run of what I foresee to be a couple titles potentially, would you ever do open?
Not as competing. I would do it for fun. Just competing, be up there, but not being competitive. So I won't compete in open to say, okay, let's see if I can win the show. If I compete in open, it's more like, hey babe, there's a show tomorrow. Let's just go on stage. Let's call the promoter. Maybe they let me compete in open. Let's just have some fun. And then we can go to cinema right after. Like that.
How close are you to your cap right now?
Oh, there's not much left. I could be stage ready in like 5 weeks.
Okay.
I'm hiding the number because people telling me, Mike, you look like open bodybuilder. Mike, you look like a 212 bodybuilder. I hate that. Oh my gosh. You know what? And if I ask them, why do you think I'm looking like an open? Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like classic. What? This is like somebody's buying an apple and I say, yeah, that doesn't look like a banana. Yes, but if I ask him why does a banana doesn't look like an apple? Yeah, because it just doesn't look like an apple. What? I mean, in the beginning I was like, oh, is it real? I talked to Tyler and he literally said, Mike, you're checking all the boxes for classic. Small waist, great flow, you bring a lot of muscle, condition, everything is there. There's nothing to be concerned about. Just because I'm a little bit bigger does not mean that I'm not classic. It's like talking to Usain Bolt, telling him, hey, please be a little bit slower because the other ones, they just can't keep up. What? Nah.
Now, my last question here, Mike, and again, I want rapid fire, okay? Will you win the Olympia this year?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Nobody knows. Not even 5 minutes before. I get the question every day, multiple 100 times. And not Steve Weinberg, not Tyler, nobody knows a minute before.
So let me reword it.
Decided.
Let me reword it, okay? Do you believe you have what it takes to win this year?
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect. That's what I want to know.
That's what we're thinking.
But I need to say, I don't want to be fake humble, but literally everybody in the top 10 has the thing to, like, everybody has the tools to win the show. It's not just about me or like 2-3 other people. I think, and we don't know how they're looking. Some people will look amazing. Some people will look bad because they mispeaked maybe. But I'm sure that every top 10 athlete could have probably the chance to win the Olympia.
Okay. Well, okay, now that we got that wrapped up, is there anyone you'd like to thank or any supplements, sponsors, anyone you want to plug?
Yes, first of all, my beautiful wife. She's just in front of me.
She could wait.
Maybe she can come in front of the camera. No, she's talking to the phone. Okay, of course, Coach Neil, obviously Peak, my supplement sponsor, and big time BioWell. BioWell helps me a lot actually to recover. They produce the peptides, such as TB500 and stuff. Amazing. I just started like a serum for my face, and I swear to God, I look like a 12-year-old. Like my skin looks so amazing. So big shout out to them, to Vanquish, to all my sponsors and partners, friends, supporters, and all the countries in the world supporting bodybuilding.
We never asked you. Do you coach people?
Yes, I have my own coaching app. I have my own team. I have my own coaches. I have my own clients.
Well,
This is my main hobby / job. When I'm not competing, I'm coaching people. Since I'm 18 or something, like 13 years I'm doing it. I love that.
and
Every
how's the best-
Sunday, check in.
What's the best way for them to reach out to you for coaching?
Instagram, I put my WhatsApp number on Instagram so you can text me on WhatsApp. My email address, mikesommerfeld.com. There's like straight boxes to fill out. You can apply right away.
We'll make sure we get that in the show notes for anyone that wants to reach out to Mike for coaching. Mike, this has been an amazing interview. I really liked how deep you went into your sponsors. It wasn't any of this generic this or that. There was no fake humble. Like, you are a humble guy. You're excited, and you love to live the life of bodybuilding. I'm really excited to see how this one shakes out this year. I can't wait. What do we got, 10 and a half weeks now until the Olympia, something like that?
Alexa, how many weeks until the 10th of October? 9 weeks.
Oh, sure. I'm shortchanging you a little bit. But I just wish you the best of success, man. And if you come by through MI40 on your way, do let me know. I'd love to try to get together with you and do some training or something. Everyone, thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, leave comments, leave questions for Mike. Maybe we'll get him on for another episode at some point. With that, gentlemen, we are Unwracked. Thanks, Mike.
Amazing. Thank you so much.